At the university opening ceremony, I went on stage to speak as an outstanding freshman representative. My mother rushed onto the stage, snatched the microphone from me, and cried out in front of all the teachers and students, "Principal, I beg you to revoke my daughter's speaking qualification. She doesn't deserve it. She has a chaotic private life. At such a young age, she got someone else pregnant and just had an abortion. Her body is very weak." In an instant, I became the laughingstock of the entire school. My boyfriend avoided me like the plague, and my friends turned against me. I was forced onto the rooftop, while my mother was still crying and shouting below, "I'm doing this all for your own good. You're not in good health, and I worry about you. I'm afraid you'll get tired from standing too long." I leaped into the air. When I opened my eyes again, I had returned to the day before the opening ceremony. My mother brought me a bowl of calming soup, and I drank it with a smile. Then I secretly replaced her birth control pills with vitamin tablets. This time, I'm going to make her taste the bitterness of public disgrace. 1. The atmosphere at the dinner table was oppressive. My mother picked up a piece of celery with her chopsticks and put it in my bowl. "Eat more. The opening ceremony is tomorrow, so you need to build up your energy." I quietly pushed the celery aside. "I don't like eating celery." My mother's face darkened. "You're going to speak as the freshman representative in a few days. For such an important occasion, how can your health not be good?" My cousin Lin Yu spoke softly. "Sister, Auntie only wants what's best for you. Being the freshman representative speaker is such an honor. Our whole family is counting on you to bring glory to our ancestors." Though her words expressed envy, the jealousy in her eyes was unmistakable. In my previous life, this freshman speech became the beginning of my nightmare. My mother raised her voice by an octave when she saw I wasn't speaking. "I'm talking to you. Have you gone mute? Have you memorized your speech for tomorrow? Don't embarrass yourself on stage." My dad couldn't stand it anymore and frowned. "All right, let the child eat in peace." My mom immediately turned her criticism toward my dad. "What do you know? I'm motivating her. She is now the focus of the entire school and cannot afford to make a single misstep." "Sister, I heard that your school has a spot for studying abroad as an exchange student this year, and it's only open to freshmen. The requirements are extremely high." Lin Yu brought it up as if by chance. My mother took the bait. "Just as expected. Exchange student. To which country?" "I think it's country M. The annual tuition and living expenses are several $100,000, all covered by the school." As soon as she heard several $100,000, my mother's eyes instantly lit up. With a flash of greed and calculation, my aunt also exclaimed in surprise, "Such a great opportunity. Of course, our little Nian should go. She has such excellent grades and is the freshman representative. She'll definitely be fine." A hint of pride flashed across my mother's face, but then she frowned. Look at how sickly she is. A gust of wind could knock her over. What if you get sick abroad with no one to take care of you?" Lin Yu immediately chimed in. "That's right. My sister's health really isn't great. She's been prone to illness since she was a child. The competition for this spot must be fierce. I'm afraid my sister's health won't be able to handle it." Watching them play off each other, I sneered inwardly. In my previous life, I burned countless midnights to secure that exchange student spot, but because of the scene my mom caused at school, I completely lost my eligibility. Meanwhile, Lin Yu, by having her aunt go around crying poverty and playing the victim, somehow managed to get the supplementary admission spot in the end. This time around, I won't let them succeed. "Mom, I don't want to compete for that spot. It's too exhausting. I just want to focus on college." My mother froze. Aunt and Lin Yu also exchanged surprised glances. My mother looked at me suspiciously. "Are you serious? You're giving up such a great opportunity. Are you trying to pull something on me again?" "No. I just feel like my body might not be able to handle it." Lin Yu is right. "I'm afraid I won't be able to cope." I deliberately feigned weakness and steered the conversation toward Lin Yu. Watching the mother and daughter pair smugly plotting, I sneered inwardly. This was only the first step. Letting them fight among themselves. The more fiercely they fought, the harder they would fall. Lin Yu quickly waved her hands in denial. "Sister, that's not what I meant." My mother interrupted her, a calculating gleam in her eyes. "Since Xiaonian isn't going, we can't let this opportunity go to waste. Tomorrow, we'll go talk to Xiaonian's counselor." My aunt's eyes lit up. "Can it be done? Why wouldn't it work?" My mother spoke with confidence. "Xiaonian is the student representative for the new class. the teachers are sure to value her opinion. Let her go tell the teacher that she's not feeling well and voluntarily give the opportunity to her cousin. The teacher will surely agree when they see how sensible she is." Lin Yu's face flushed red, and she clenched her fists excitedly. My father frowned as he listened from the side. "What is this all about? Isn't this just nonsense?" My mother glared at him. "Shut up, you don't get to speak in this house." She looked at me and said in a commanding tone, "After the speech tomorrow, you'll take us to see your advisor. Did you hear me?" I nodded. "Got it, Mom." Late at night, my mom came into my room carrying a bowl of soup. "Drink this calming soup, and don't be nervous tomorrow. It's exactly the same as in my previous life. In my previous life, after drinking this soup, I felt drowsy every day." My mother had even more reason to say that I was physically weak. I took the bowl and obediently drank it all in one go. "Thanks, Mom." My mother looked at me with satisfaction. After she left the room, I immediately went into the bathroom and spat out all the soup. Then I walked into her bedroom. From the bedside table, I took out the bottle of birth control pills she often took. Skillfully, I popped out the pills inside and replaced them with the vitamins I had prepared long ago. "Mom, haven't you always said I was your pride? This time, I'll let you experience firsthand what it feels like to fall from the clouds into the abyss." 2. The opening ceremony was held in an auditorium packed with a huge crowd. I took a deep breath, and only a deathly silence remained in my heart. It's my turn. I could clearly see my mother, my aunt, and Lin Yu sitting in the first row. Their gazes were like three sharp swords, firmly fixed on me. "Respected leaders, teachers, dear fellow students," I began speaking, my voice clear and steady, without any of the nervousness and trembling from my previous life. A round of applause broke out from the audience. My speech is about to end, and following the procedure, I bow to express my gratitude to all the teachers and students of the school. Just as I straightened up, a figure suddenly rushed up from below the stage. It's my mom. She snatched the microphone from my hand so quickly that no one had time to react. The entire room fell silent in an instant. All eyes were fixed on the stage, focused on my mother. Unlike my previous life, I didn't feel chilled to the bone. Instead, my heart was racing wildly, not out of fear, but out of excitement. The suffocating feeling of being condemned by everyone in my past life flashed by. I couldn't help but reveal a strange, expectant smile to the stunned crowd below. "The show has finally begun." She held the microphone, her voice piercing and filled with sobs. "Principal, all the teachers, please, I beg you, disqualify my daughter from giving her speech." Her words exploded like a bomb in the auditorium. There was an uproar in the audience. I stood where I was, watching her performance with great interest. "She doesn't deserve it. She doesn't deserve to stand here. She is not at all the person you see," she cried out hysterically. "She has a chaotic personal life and got someone pregnant at such a young age. Just a few days ago, she had an abortion at the hospital so she could come to school. She's very weak right now, and the doctor said she needs bed rest. I'm afraid she might faint on stage if she stands for too long." The entire room fell into dead silence. Everyone's gaze shifted from my mother to me. I saw the principal's face turn ashen. The teachers were whispering and discussing among themselves. "No wonder she looked a bit pale. It turns out she just had surgery. It's really hard to tell. Such a high-achieving student, yet so messy in private." Lin Yu ran to my side, her face full of concern as she supported me. "Sister, are you okay? You look terrible. Quick, let's go down and rest first." Her voice wasn't loud, but it confirmed what my mother had said. I really was physically weak. I pushed her away. I looked at the woman on the stage who was still performing with tears and sobs. My biological mother. She was still crying and complaining. "I'm only doing what's best for her. As her mother, would I ever harm my own daughter? She's just too stubborn and driven." But health is the foundation of everything. I was afraid she'd exhaust herself to the point of damaging her health, maybe even lose the ability to have children someday. That's why I resorted to such a desperate measure. What a profound maternal love. For my daughter's health, I didn't hesitate to ruin her reputation in front of thousands of people. I laughed for no reason. My mother turned around and looked at me in astonishment. "What are you laughing at?" I walked step by step until I stood before her. I took the microphone back from her hand. "Mom," my voice wasn't loud, but through the microphone, it clearly echoed throughout the entire auditorium. Are you done talking? 3. My mother was stunned by my reaction. She stared at me blankly, unable to speak. I ignored her and turned to the school leaders in the audience. I bowed deeply. I'm sorry, Principal, and all the teachers. I apologize for disrupting the opening ceremony due to my personal family matters. My tone was calm, the principal's expression softened slightly. Student, I interrupted him. Regarding what my mother just said, I would like to clarify. I turned around to face the entire school. First, I am not pregnant, and I have certainly never had an abortion. Second, my personal life is clean. After speaking, I looked at my mom. Mom, I know you're doing this for my own good. You want me to get the exchange student spot, but you're also worried about my health and afraid I'll overwork myself, so you're trying to use this method to make the school think I have poor character and disqualify me. Then, have my equally academically excellent and physically healthy cousin Lin Yu take my place, right? As soon as I finished speaking, Lin Yu's face instantly turned pale, and also panicked and quickly waved her hands. What nonsense are you talking, child? We did not. My mother's face turned even more unpleasant. She never expected that I would expose her in front of everyone. She was trembling with anger, pointing at me. You unfilial daughter. I worked so hard to raise you, and this is how you slander me. She started crying again, her acting so convincing. How did I end up raising such an ungrateful wretch? Every word I said is the truth. Do you dare to go to the hospital for a checkup? She is forcing me to use self-justification to wash away the dirt she has thrown on me. No matter the outcome, the fact that I have been suspected has already become a reality. Gossip will follow me forever. In my previous life, it was like this. I was forced into a corner by her. To quell the public opinion, the school advised me to drop out, and she, only when I was pushed to the brink, reluctantly apologized. I meant well, but who knew they would actually believe it? I raised the microphone and spoke to everyone in the audience. I can go to the hospital for an examination to prove my innocence, but before that, I would like everyone to watch a video first. As I spoke, I took out my phone and connected it to the auditorium's large screen. In the picture, my mom, my aunt, and Lin Yu were sitting on the sofa. It's settled then. Tomorrow, your aunt, Xiao Yu, and I will go to the school together. Xiao Nian is the freshman representative. So the teachers must think highly of her. Let her go tell the teacher that she's not feeling well and voluntarily give the opportunity to her cousin. The teacher will definitely agree when they see how sensible she is. The auditorium once again fell into a deathly silence. Everyone stared at the screen in stunned disbelief. My mother was as if struck by lightning, frozen in place. She pointed at me, unable to utter a single word. You. Lin Yu was so frightened she collapsed to the ground. Auntie even let out a direct scream. You recorded it. You actually recorded it secretly. I turned off the video and put away my phone. I'm just in the habit of casually documenting my life. I turned to look at my mother. Mom, now, do you still want me to go to the hospital for a checkup? Or should we call the police first and let them determine whether this kind of public defamation and false accusation constitutes slander? My mother's body was almost unsteady on her feet. All her disguises were torn to shreds by me in public. The murmurs from the audience surged forward. Oh my God, is this mother really her biological one? To let your niece take her place? You'd ruin your own daughter like this. That cousin isn't a good person either. She's too scheming. I looked at my mother's face, feeling no satisfaction in my heart, at that moment. Several school security guards rushed onto the stage. Parents, please leave immediately. My mother was being held by the security guards, still screaming hysterically at me. I am your mother. You can't treat me like this. You will regret this. You will definitely regret this. My aunt and Lin Yu were also dragged away from the scene. The farce finally came to an end. The principal walked over to me and patted my shoulder. Student, you've been wronged. The school will definitely give you justice. Thank you, principal. I held my speech notes and walked off the stage. I had just stepped out of the auditorium when someone blocked my path. It's Shinzhou, my ex-boyfriend. His face turned ashen as he grabbed my wrist. Lu Nian, have you lost your mind? In my past life, he acted the same way, but back then his eyes held contempt and avoidance, whereas now, they're filled with anger. I looked at him quietly without saying a word. That's your mother, even if she's in the wrong. You can't embarrass her like that in front of the whole school. Have you ever thought about how I feel? What will others think of me? What will they say about me having a girlfriend who even schemes against her own mother? What he cares about has always only been his own pride." I laughed. "Girlfriend." I pulled my hand away, then raised it and slapped him with all my strength, hitting him hard. Slap. A crisp sound made the passing students around stop in their tracks. "Shinjo, who do you think you are? How dare you meddle in my family affairs?" I pointed at him and spoke word by word. "Don't think everyone is obsessed with your pretentious face. Get lost. From now on, you are dumped by me. Don't ever show up in front of me again, or I'll beat you up every time I see you." Shinjo covered his face, completely stunned. The pointing and whispering around him made his face turn pale and then flush with anger. You're being unreasonable." I couldn't be bothered to give him another glance, turned around and left, blocked and deleted him in one swift motion. My life needs a complete reshuffle, and the first step is to take out the trash. When I got home, the house was in complete disarray. My dad was sitting on the sofa, smoking one cigarette after another. Seeing me return, he stubbed out his cigarette. "Your mom locked herself in her room and hasn't eaten all day." His tone was filled with exhaustion and helplessness. I didn't react much and prepared to go back to my own room. "Xiao Nian," my dad called out to me, "is there some kind of misunderstanding about this matter? Your mom, although sometimes she speaks and acts without considering the consequences, her heart is in the right place. She definitely has your best interests at heart." It's this phrase again, "for my own good, for my own good." "Is that why you announced in front of thousands of people that I had an abortion, giving my opportunity to someone else, even at the cost of ruining my reputation?" "Dad, if this is what you consider good for me, then I'd rather not have it." My father was left speechless by my words and finally let out a sigh. "She is your mother." "Yes, she is my mother." I smiled self-deprecatingly. "So everything she does is right, and I just have to take it. Is that it?" I ignored him, turned around, and went into the room, locking the door behind me. Early the next morning, I was woken up by a loud, frantic knocking on the door. "Lu Nian, get the hell out here." I opened the door, and with a sharp crack, a slap landed hard across my face. It stung fiercely. "You beast, you must have been born in the wrong life just to torment me. How could I have given birth to such an ungrateful wretch? You've ruined everything for me. I hope you die a miserable death." She was frantically tearing at my hair, cursing me with the most vicious words. How could I have given birth to such an ungrateful creature? For the sake of a lousy opportunity, you'd actually scheme against your own mother. Let me tell you, as long as I'm alive, don't even think about getting that exchange student spot. My dad and aunt also rushed in. They pulled my mom away, but her mouth was still cursing non-stop. I covered my face and said nothing. I just looked at her coldly. "Lin, you hypocritically ran over, sister. Don't blame auntie. She just had a momentary lapse in judgment. It's all my fault. If I hadn't brought up the exchange student matter, none of this would have happened." As she spoke, tears fell, and she acted pitifully. I looked at her and suddenly smiled. "Is that so? Then it's not too late for you to back out now." Lin Yu's sobbing abruptly stopped, and a flicker of panic crossed her face. My aunt immediately pushed me away. "Stop bullying people here. Why should our Xiao Yu back out? Your mother is right. An unfilial daughter like you doesn't deserve to go." My mother also chimed in. "That's right. She doesn't deserve it. This spot must be Xiaoya's. I'll go beg them again. Make them give the spot to Xiaoya." As she spoke, she really was about to rush out. My dad finally couldn't hold back anymore and yelled, "Damn it, enough. Aren't you ashamed enough already? Look at what you've become." My mom was stunned by his yelling and then started crying even harder. "You actually yelled at me. You yelled at me for this ungrateful daughter. Fine. The two of you, father and daughter, are ganging up to bully me. What's the point of me living anymore? I don't want to live," she cried and shouted while running toward the window, pretending to jump. The house was instantly thrown into chaos. My dad and aunt hurried over to pull her back. I stood where I was, watching the commotion with a cold eye. Just then, my mom suddenly stopped. She held her stomach, her face pale. "Ouch, my stomach hurts." Cold sweat beaded on her forehead, her expression pained. Auntie panicked. "Sis, what's wrong? Don't scare me," my mother said weakly. "I don't know. It's just these waves of sharp pain." My father also became anxious. "Hurry, call an ambulance. Aunt frantically searched for her phone, watching my mother in agony. I felt no emotion in my heart. Based on the date I secretly switched the medication. It should have been about 2 weeks now. My mom is still moaning and groaning, saying she might have eaten something bad. My aunt is also making wild guesses. Could it be that you didn't eat last night and now you have stomach cramps? My dad urged, stop guessing, call 120 quickly. I slowly walked over and crouched in front of my mom. Mom, have you been getting tired really easily lately? And you've been feeling nauseous all the time too? My mom froze for a moment, looking at me. How did you know? I smiled and took out my phone. Because I'm not feeling very well either. How about we go to the hospital together to get checked? I didn't dial 120. I dialed another phone number that I had already saved. The call was quickly answered. I put it on speakerphone. A loud man's voice came through the receiver. Hello, who is this? My mother's body jolted violently the moment she heard this voice. She looked at me, her eyes filled with terror and disbelief. You, 5. The man on the other end of the phone was my mother's first love, Uncle Wang. My dad's face instantly darkened. Lun Yen, who are you calling? I didn't answer him, just quietly looked at my mom. Uncle Wang on the other end of the phone, not hearing a response, asked again. Hello, speak up, who is it? My mom's body began to tremble uncontrollably. She wanted to snatch my phone, but due to her stomach pain, she couldn't muster any strength. Hang up the phone, she said hoarsely. I smiled faintly. Mom, aren't you having a stomachache? Uncle Wang is a doctor. Isn't it just right to let him listen for you? Uncle Wang is a well-known gynecologist in the city. All our relatives know about this matter. Aunt's expression changed too, and she looked at my mother with a complicated gaze. I said into the phone, Uncle Wang, hello, I'm Lun Yen. Oh, it's Nyen Nyen. Do you need something from Uncle? Yes, my mom isn't feeling well. I was hoping you could take a look at her. I said it lightly. She's been feeling nauseous and having stomach pains lately. There was a brief silence on the other end of the line. His professional sensitivity as an obstetrician-gynecologist made him realize something instantly. When was your mother's last menstrual period? As soon as this question was asked, the air in the room seemed to freeze. My father stared fixedly at my mother's stomach. You, tell me, what on earth is going on? My mother's lips had lost all their color. She stared at me with a death glare, her eyes looking as if she wanted to devour me. But the fear in her eyes still betrayed her. She was afraid. Afraid that the secret she had hidden for over 10 years would be exposed by me just like that, seeing that my mother remained silent. I kindly reminded her, Mom, Uncle Wang is asking you a question. My mother trembled, unable to utter a single word. Seeing this, my aunt quickly stepped in to smooth things over. Dr. Wang, my sister just has an upset stomach from something she ate. It's nothing serious. No need to trouble yourself, she said, and tried to snatch my phone. I dodged lightly, avoiding her hand. Aunt, my mother's health is important. Uncle Wang is an expert. Let him diagnose her so we can feel at ease. I held the phone close to my mother's mouth again. Mom, say something. Under my intense gaze, my mother finally broke down. She pushed me away and screamed at me hysterically. What do you want to do? Do you want to drive me to death? As she moved, the pain in her stomach intensified. She curled up on the ground, moaning in agony. My father's expression could no longer be described as just unpleasant. He walked step by step to my mother, looking down at her from above. You'd better give me an explanation. His voice was as cold as ice. My mother was in so much pain that she couldn't speak and just kept shaking her head. I watched this scene with a heart as calm as still water. I hung up the phone and then dialed 120. The ambulance arrived very quickly. The medical staff lifted my mother onto a stretcher. My father didn't look at her the entire time. Aunt and Lin Yu followed them to the hospital. In the evening, my father came back. He had drunk a lot of alcohol and reeked of liquor. Are the results out? He nodded, his voice hoarse. Pregnant, ectopic pregnancy. He lifted his head, his reddened eyes looking at me. The child is his. I wasn't surprised. In my previous life, after I died, my mother also fell ill. It was because of a massive hemorrhage from an ectopic pregnancy, and she almost didn't make it, at that time. I only thought it was the retribution for her many evil deeds. It wasn't until I was reborn that I pieced everything together. My mom and Uncle Wang never cut off contact. Why? My dad was grabbing his hair in agony. Where exactly did I wrong her? All these years, I've given her my heart and soul. Why would she treat me like this? I didn't answer him, because I don't know the answer either. Perhaps, not loving someone is the original sin. Lun Yen, did you know all along? I fell silent. He laughed self-deprecatingly. Yeah, I'm really foolish, you all know. I'm the only one kept in the dark like a fool. He picked up the wine bottle on the table and was about to take another swig. I pressed my hand over his. Dad, stop drinking, you still have me. He looked at me, tears falling, a man nearly 50 years old, crying like a child. From today on, this family is completely broken. 6. My mother's surgery was very successful, but she has completely broken down. She lies in the hospital bed with empty eyes. When she saw me, she showed no reaction. My aunt looked a bit awkward when she saw me. Your mom, she's not in a good mood, don't take it to heart. I nodded and put down the fruit basket I was holding. I walked to the bedside and looked at my mom. Mom, how are you feeling? She still ignored me. I didn't mind and continued speaking to myself. Dad already knows. He plans to divorce you. My mother's body jolted violently. She finally turned her head and stared at me fiercely. That look was filled with venomous hatred. It's you. It's all because of you, you jinx. Since I've had you, I haven't had a single good day. I really regret not having strangled you back then. My aunt was startled and quickly covered her mouth. Sis, what nonsense are you talking? My mother struggled, still wanting to continue cursing. I looked at her coldly. Go ahead and curse. After all, there won't be many chances left in the future. The divorce agreement has already been drafted by the lawyer, as Dad requested. You won't get a single penny from the house, the car, or the savings, because you were the one who committed adultery first. My mother's eyes widened even more. She couldn't believe that the man who had always been so obedient to her would go this far. Impossible. He wouldn't dare. He loves me so much. He wouldn't do this to me. She seemed to be trying to convince me, or perhaps herself. I took out my phone and played a recording. It was my father's drunken confession from last night. Finally, he said, I really want to kill her. After the recording finished, my mother fell completely silent. The color drained completely from her face. Aunt, I advise you to start making plans early as well. What do you mean? Dad's company has been auditing the accounts recently. I heard someone has been embezzling a significant amount of public funds by taking advantage of their position. And that person seems to be your husband. I've sorted out my dad's company accounts in my previous life, so I know exactly where the loopholes are. My aunt's face immediately darkened. You're slandering me. I didn't say anything. I'm just reminding you, in these troubled times, it's better to be cautious. After saying that, I ignored them and turned to leave the ward. 7. Back at school, the academic advisor found me. He told me that regarding the exchange student quota, the school had discussed and decided to reopen the selection process, in a fair, just, and transparent manner. Leaving the office, I ran into Lin Yu. When she saw me, she averted her eyes and tried to walk around me. I called out to stop her. Lin Yu, she stopped in her tracks and forced a smile. Sister, my mom is in the hospital. Aren't you going to visit her? I've been too busy with my studies lately. Is that so? I walked up to her and stared her down. How come I heard that you've been busy dating Shinzhou lately? Lin Yu's face instantly flushed bright red. You're talking nonsense. We're just ordinary friends. Ordinary friends. I laughed and didn't use the photos to provoke her any further. All right. I wish you happiness. I left those words behind as I walked past her. I knew that she and Shinzhou were just using each other for their own needs. I have more important things to do. The selection for exchange students has begun. On the day of the written exam, I saw Lin Yu. She was wearing a white dress, looking pure and innocent. When she saw me, she even took the initiative to greet me. Sister, you're here too. She looked me up and down, a hint of a scornful smile curling at the corner of her lips. However, this kind of opportunity should be fair competition to begin with. It's not like some people, whose families have had that kind of incident. Who knows if the judges might mind? There was a hint of barely noticeable provocation in her tone. I ignored her and walked straight into the examination hall. In my previous life, I had prepared for this exam for a very long time. Every piece of knowledge was thoroughly memorized. In this lifetime, it was even more of a sure thing. When the written test results came out, I unsurprisingly took first place. Lin Yu ranked fifth, barely making it into the interview. On the day of the interview, we were assigned to the same group. There were 3 interviewers. One was our dean, and the other 2 were foreign professors. Lin Yu was ahead of me in line. She gave a very impressive self-introduction in fluent English. She talked about her humble family background and how she overcame difficulties to study hard. She expressed her longing for prestigious foreign universities. She spoke with such emotion and vividness that she nearly moved herself to tears. The 2 foreign professors were clearly touched by her story. The dean also nodded in satisfaction. It's my turn. My self-introduction was very simple. I only mentioned my name, my major, and my academic achievements. There was no playing the victim. No emotional manipulation. The dean seemed somewhat disappointed. A foreign professor asked a question. Lu, we see that your written exam results are excellent, but we believe that an outstanding exchange student not only needs excellent grades but also strong psychological qualities and adaptability. Do you think you possess these qualities? This question is clearly aimed at the messy affairs in my family. I suspect Lin Yu has been working hard behind the scenes. I looked at him and answered neither arrogantly nor humbly. I believe I am qualified, because I have experienced despair. And I have overcome despair. Nothing can temper a person's will more than having faced death once. My words left the 3 interviewers stunned. I didn't explain. I simply looked at them calmly. I know they will investigate, and the results of the investigation will only be in my favor. After the interview, Lin Yu and I met in the hallway. She looked at me with a smug expression. Sister, I think I did pretty well this time. Who do you think the school will choose? Looking at her hypocritical face, I found it somewhat amusing. Take a guess. The results came out quickly. The school's official website published the final list of selected candidates. 8. I was reading in the library when I saw the list. My phone vibrated. It was a WeChat message from Lin Yu. A screenshot. It's a notice from the official website. Why? I replied to her with 2 words. Trust me. Then, block. I thought that was the end of it. Unexpectedly, Lin Yu still wouldn't give up. She found my dad's company. She wanted my dad to step in and go to the school to have me give up my spot for her. In the end, she was directly chased out by the security guards at my dad's company. Because the matter of my uncle embezzling public funds was discovered, there is both witness and material evidence, and he has been taken away by the police for investigation. My aunt went to the company and caused a scene, claiming that my father framed her. My father directly sent a lawyer's letter to her home, suing her for defamation. Now, my aunt has completely settled down. As for my mom, she has been staying at my aunt's house ever since she was discharged from the hospital. She doesn't dare to go home, nor does she dare to see my dad. I heard that she used all her savings to hire a lawyer for my uncle. Unfortunately, it's of no use. The amount embezzled is huge. So a prison sentence is unavoidable. This family is completely finished. I have completed all the procedures and am ready to go abroad. The day before departure, I received an unexpected phone call. It was Uncle Wang who called. He asked to meet with me. We met at a cafe. Uncle Wang looks much more haggard than last time. He just looked at me quietly. You look very much like your mother. He spoke, his voice somewhat hoarse. I didn't speak. He gave a bitter smile. I know, you hate her, and you hate me too. I admitted it straightforwardly. Yes, I hate you both. I hate your selfishness, which destroyed 2 families. He remained silent for a long time before slowly speaking. What happened back then was my fault. I shouldn't have remained entangled with her after she got married. I thought we were just friends. Friends, I sneered. Friends who sleep together. My words left no room for courtesy. His face instantly turned deathly pale. I'm sorry. I know it's too late for anything I say now. I came to you today not to ask for your forgiveness. I just wanted to tell you some things. He said that back then, he and my mother were truly in love, but his family was poor, and my maternal grandparents absolutely refused to agree. They even threatened to cut off ties with my mother. My mother had no choice but to marry my father. After getting married, she has been unhappy, until later, she met him again. Old feelings reignited and became uncontrollable. She told me she doesn't love your father, and being with him makes her feel suffocated and miserable. She said you are her only hope. Hope? I sounded as if I had heard the biggest joke. the hope of using me as a tool to scheme against others, the hope of using me as a bargaining chip to get what she wants. If this is what she wished for, then I would rather she had never wished at all." Uncle Wang closed his eyes in pain. "Nian Nian, I know she has done many wrong things, but she truly loves you. She just used the wrong way. Love me. Loving me means splashing dirty water on me. Loving me means ruining my entire life for your own selfish desires." "Uncle Wang, you are also a father with a daughter. If your daughter went through the same things I did, would you still be here defending her mother?" He was completely speechless. "Yeah, you never know how much it hurts until the needle pricks your own skin. He thinks he knows my mom very well. Actually, he knows nothing. He doesn't know how controlling my mom can be. He doesn't know how terrible her vanity is. What's more, I had no idea how far she would go to achieve her goals. Her so-called love is cheap and laughable. I came here today for another reason." Uncle Wang took a bank card out of his bag and pushed it toward me. "There is some money in here, not much, but consider it my compensation to you." I looked at the card but didn't move. "I don't need it. I know you don't need it, but this is from your mother. She asked me to give it to you." I froze for a moment. "She said she's sorry to you. She said, in this lifetime, the person she feels most sorry for is you. She hopes you take this money, live well abroad, and never come back." I looked at him and suddenly understood. This isn't compensation. This is hush money. She is afraid. Afraid that I will expose all her dirty secrets. Afraid that she won't be able to maintain even the last bit of her dignity. How ridiculous. At this point, what she's still thinking about is herself. I picked up that card, just as Uncle Wang thought I would accept it. I broke it in half right in front of him. Then, I threw it into the nearby trash can. "Tell her, the game has only just begun. I won't let this go." I left the cafe without looking back. 9. I didn't go home. I went to my aunt's house. I knocked on the door. Lin Yu was the one who opened the door. She saw me as if she had seen a ghost. "You, how did you get here?" Her complexion was poor, with heavy dark circles under her eyes, completely devoid of her usual radiance. I ignored her and walked straight in. The house is small and messy. My aunt was sitting on the sofa, sighing heavily. When she saw me, she froze for a moment, then stood up. "What are you doing here? You're not welcome in our home." My mom came out of the room. She was wearing pajamas. Her hair was a mess, and her eyes looked dazed. When she saw me, she seemed to be startled by something and suddenly screamed, "What are you doing here, you jinx? Get out." She casually grabbed an apple from the table and threw it at me. I didn't hide. The apple hit me on the forehead, and it hurt. I looked at her and smiled. "Mom, I'm leaving tomorrow. I came to say goodbye to you." My words made my mother freeze in her tracks. She looked at me, her expression complex. "Leave? Where could you possibly go?" She sneered. "Do you think going abroad means you can escape me? Let me tell you, Lu Nian, you will always be my daughter. You have my blood running through your veins. Don't even think about cutting ties with me in this lifetime." My aunt chimed in from the side. "Exactly. Don't forget who raised you, changing your diapers and feeding you all these years. Now that you've grown wings, you want to deny your own mother. Do you even have a conscience?" Lin Yu also spoke timidly. "Sister, auntie, she really misses you. What a ridiculous family. Even now, they're still putting on an act. I came today not to argue with you." I took a document out of my bag and placed it on the table. "This is the severance agreement. I've already signed it. As long as you also sign, from now on, we will go our separate ways in marriage and have nothing to do with each other." All three of them were stunned. They probably didn't expect me to be so ruthless. My mother was the first to react. She went crazy, rushed over, and tore the agreement to shreds. "Cut ties. You wish? I'm telling you, Lu Nian, I would rather die than agree." She suddenly rushed into the kitchen and came out with a kitchen knife in her hand. She pointed the knife at me, her eyes bloodshot and her face twisted with rage. "You think you're all grown up now? It's all your fault. You've brought ruin upon our family. Your dad divorced you. Your uncle got arrested. It's all because of you, you jinx. You think you can just walk away now? Not a chance." She moved closer step by step, the blade of the knife glinting coldly. "Either you leave all the money for studying abroad with me today, or we both perish together. I gave you life, and I can take it away." Her ugly true nature was completely exposed. She doesn't love me, she only loves my worth. Once I lose my value or am no longer willing to be used by her, I become her greatest enemy in her eyes. I looked at Linyu, and you, Linyu, do you think what you've done has gone unnoticed by anyone? In order to secure the exchange student spot, you anonymously reported me to the school, accusing me of academic fraud and misconduct. Did you really think I wouldn't find out? Linyu's face instantly turned deathly pale. I didn't, no. I took out my phone and played a recording. It was her call log with her friend. That fool actually thought I was genuinely good to her. Once I get the spot and go abroad, who will even remember who she is? Linyu collapsed to the ground, unable to utter a single word. I casually sent the recording to Shinzhou, along with a message. Your new girlfriend is quite the schemer. My aunt was dumbfounded, trembling with anger. Watching this chaotic scene, my heart remained completely calm. Facing the knife in my mother's hand, I didn't retreat. Instead, I took a step forward and offered my neck. Come on. I calmly looked into her frenzied eyes. You said you regretted not strangling me, didn't you? Now's your chance. Stab right here. End it all. And you can go demand a huge compensation for emotional distress from my dad. Maybe even extort Uncle Wong for life. My mother was stunned by my actions. Her hand holding the knife began to tremble, and though she continued cursing under her breath, she didn't dare actually stab me. That's just the kind of person she is, fierce on the outside but weak within, bullying the weak but fearing the strong. I pushed her knife-wielding hand aside and resolutely walked out the door. Behind me came the sound of her helpless, furious screams and things being smashed. I didn't look back. I know that my life truly begins from this moment.